Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. In this class we are going to discuss binomial theorem from new syllabus of GPSTR 2026. One question was asked from this chapter in the model question paper released by CSL in the School Education Department website. So the question was, the coefficient of x to the power 5 in x plus 3 whole to the power 8 is. So they were asking us to find out the coefficient of x to the power 5 in this x plus 3 whole to the power 8 expression. So we will be teaching you the binomial theorem topic right from the basics, and by the end of the class you should be able to answer this question. Okay, so we will come back to this question in the end of this class. Let's now start with what does this binomial mean? See, binomial has a 2 in it, right? Bi means 2, right? So binomial means it is an expression which is having 2 terms. 2 terms means you can write like this, a plus b. Alright, so this expression has 2 terms. What are the more examples for this binomial theorem? X plus 2 or a minus b and so on, right? There can be many examples for this 2 terms like expression, right? Now you need to understand this pattern. If I write a plus b whole square, what is the full form for this? You all know this formula, right? It is a square plus 2ab plus b square. You have to observe the coefficients of each term here. The coefficient of a square is 1. Coefficient of ab is 2. Coefficient of b square is 1. Right? What is the coefficient? The number which is written behind that particular term is the coefficient. Right? If nothing is there, it means that we have 1 there. Like that only, we have another expression like this, a plus b whole cube. This is also a formula, right? The algebraic identity it is. So you can write as a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Observe the coefficients here. The a cube coefficient is 1. For a square b coefficient is 3. For ab square coefficient is 3. For b cube coefficient is 1. Clear, right? Now if I tell you to find out the sum of the coefficients of the given expression, what you will do? If this expression is given, you will take the coefficients of each terms and then you will add it, right? So sum of the coefficients of this expression will be 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. So your answer will be 8. Clear, right? Now here you know how to expand these given expressions with the formulae, so you are expanding it, right? But then if you have a expression like this, a plus b, and the power will be very high number, some n is there. So what will be the answer for this? You don't have a direct formula for this as of now from algebraic identities, right? So you cannot use any formula like we have done for a plus b whole square and a plus b whole cube. So whenever you have these 2 terms with the highest power like n, you can represent that expression in one form. That form only we call as a binomial theorem. Okay, so any expression which is having 2 terms with highest power, it can be n, you can express it in the form of binomial theorem. Okay, so I will write and show you the binomial theorem for this expression a plus b whole to the power n. So here you will have NC0. See here permutations and combinations term is coming, NC0, NCR, that is our permutation combination term, right? So then you have 2 terms, a is there, b is there, that also should come here, a to the power n, then b to the power 0 plus, again what will be the next term followed with this, n c1, a power will decrease, here you have n, it will decrease, it will become n minus 1, then b power will increase, here you have 0, here you will get 1, next plus NC2. As I already told you, A power will decrease. You already had n minus 1, minus 1 it will become. B power will increase. Already you had B power 1, plus 1 will come. And so on. Right? So what will be your final binomial theorem? NC0, A to the power n, B to the power 0 plus NC1, A to the power n minus 1, it got decreased. B to the power 1, the power got increased, plus NC2, A to the power n minus 2, B to the power 2, and so on. And what will be the last term here? NCn. And because we had A to the power n here, the last term will be 0, because A to the power, whatever power is there, it is decreasing, right? And what about B? We have 0 here, so here it will be n because it is increasing. So what is happening in binomial theorem? Whatever power is there for A, it will increase as you go on. Whatever power is there for B, it will decrease as you go on. So in the first term, you have A to the power n, B to the power 0. In the last term, you will have A to the power 0, B to the power n. Now things became very clear, right? See, many aspirants get scared by seeing this binomial theorem equation. So that's why I have told you how to write it in the easiest manner. So you can also write along with me now. What is the binomial theorem for A plus B to the power n? How do I express this with the binomial theorem? You write NC0, A to the power n, B to the power 0. This is your first term. Second term, actually it should proceed only, right? NC0 is there, NC1 will become. A to the power 1 is there, one number will decrease in the power. B to the 0 is there, one number will increase in the power, and so on. And in the last, whatever is there in the first, its ulta will be written. NC0 was there, NCn will be written. A to the n was there, A to the 0 will be written. B to the 0 was there, B to the n will be written. Clear, right? Now, this is the full form. If I want to write it in the shortest way, how I will write? A plus B whole to the power n. What is the shortest way for summing up many terms? It is summation, right? Summation. And how is this summation running? It is running from 0 till n, right? It is running from 0 till n. So in summation, what I will write? K is equal to 0 till n. That is how we write the limits in the summation, right? Then what will be the first term? How it is running? 0, 1, 2, 3 till n, right? So I will write C starting from K till n. Then what is the power of A doing? It is going on decreasing, so I will write n minus 1. What is the power of B doing? Power of B is following our K. Here it is 0, it will be 0 here. Here it is 1, it will be 1 here. You get my point, right? So here if you write NC2, A to the n minus 2, B to the 2. Here it is 2, here also it will be 2, right? So here you will write B to the K. Clear, right? So this is the expression. What is the expression? A plus B whole to the power n, summation K is equal to 0 to the n, NCK, A to the n minus 1, B to the K. This is our binomial theorem short form. Okay. Now here, what is the main term you have to understand? Main term you have to understand is about NCK. Or if we talk about our permutation and combination rotation, we have NCR. What will be the formula? Remember, it is n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Right. So how do you use this factorial notation? See, for example, you have 4 factorial. How do you write it? You write like this: 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Right. Or if you have some 7 factorial divided by 5 factorial. How you write it? 7 into 6 into 5. I have to actually go into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. But I will not go in order to simplify. I will just write 5 factorial here because I have 5 factorial in the denominator. I will just cancel it and I will get my answer as 72 here. Okay. So this is how you use the factorial notation to expand and simplify. So what is the most important thing we have learnt now? The powers of A are decreasing and powers of B are increasing as we go on writing the next term in the binomial theorem. Now one interesting thing I will show you. See, in the binomial theorem, what is the first term we wrote? NC0, A to the N and B to the 0, right? What was the second term? NC1, A to the N minus 1 and B to the 1, right? Third term, NC2, A to the N minus 2 and B to the 2, right? Here something interesting I will show you. See, if you observe the powers of A and B, you just add them. Add powers of A and B. So here you have N plus 0. Answer is N. Here you have N minus 1 plus 1. Answer is N. Here you have N minus 2 plus 2. Answer is N. So what is the conclusion here? If you add powers of A and B, you will always get N here. So that is the speciality of binomial theorem. And what is the factor for this? See, this is the term. So NCR, this factor NCO here, this one will be coefficient, right? For this expression, this one will be coefficient, right? For this expression, this one will be coefficient. Or if you just want to find out the coefficient of A to the power N, just A to the power N. For this, what will be the coefficient? This and this you will multiply, right? So if you want the coefficient of A to the power N minus 1, you will find out NC1 and you will find out B to the 1 and you will multiply. If you want to find out the coefficient of A to the power N minus 2, you will find out NC2, you will find out B to the 2 and you will multiply. Whatever number you will get will be the coefficient of this term. Clear, right? You get my point now? Now, we were talking about A plus B whole to the N and we wrote the binomial theorem. What did we write? A plus B whole to the N is equal to NC0, A to the N, B to the 0 plus NC1, A to the N minus 1, B to the 1 and so on, and we wrote NCN, A to the 0, B to the N. This is for A plus B whole to the N. But if you have a negative sign here, A minus B whole to the N, what you will do here? Here you have to write NC0, A to the N, B to the 0. Only change will be, you will write minus here. NC1, A to the N minus 1, B to the 1. Here it will be plus. Again it will go on, here it will be minus. Again it will go on, here it will be plus. Plus and minus will be written in the expression. The last term will be same only, but one thing will be different here. NCN, A to the 0 minus B to the N. So the difference is that here you have B, here you have minus B. So these are the two binomial theorem expressions for two terms with the power N. Okay, this much is clear now, right? Now, I have A plus B to the power N. I can put A is equal to 1 and B is equal to X, right? If I put A is equal to 1 and B is equal to X, what will my expression become here? It will become 1 plus X to the power N, right? Or if I put A is equal to 1 and B is equal to X in A minus B to the power N. So what will my expression become? 1 minus X to the power N, right? So now I can write the binomial theorem for both the expressions, right? Just I will write and show you. 1 plus X to the power N. So NC0, just I have to put A as 1, B as X. So NC0, 1 to the power N, X to the power 0 plus NC1, 1 to the power N minus 1, X to the power 1 plus, what will be the next term? NC2, 1 to the power N minus 2, X to the power 2 and so on. What will be the last term? NCN, 1 to the power 0, x to the power n. So what will be my final expression for 1 plus x to the power n? NC0, anything to the power n will be 1 only, and x to the power 0 will be 1. So I have only NC0 in the first term. What about the second term NC1? I have anything to the power n minus 1 will be 1. I have x here. What about the third term NC2? I have anything to the power 1 is 1 only. Here I have x2. And in the last I have NCn, x to the power n. So this is the expression for 1 plus x to the power n. Similarly, I can write for 1 minus x to the power n, right? So this one will be NC0. What will be the only difference? Minus I will write here like this. Plus I will write here. Again minus I will write here. It will go on, and here I will have minus x to the power n. Right? So these are the two important theorems, two important expressions which we have derived using the binomial theorem. Clear, right? Now, in the expansion of a plus b whole to the power n, there should be some general term, right? Because we are talking about the expansion, how we used to do in the arithmetic progression. Something was proceeding. So we have number of terms there, we have general term there, right? So for this general term, notation is TR plus 1. So the formula is NCR, A to the n minus R, B to the R. So this is the general term for the binomial theorem. Now what does this TR plus 1 mean? TR plus 1 means it is actually a term number. Like for example, T1 will be first term, T2 will be second term, T3 will be third term, and so on. That's all. So this TR plus 1 is a term number. Same like what you did in arithmetic progression, no? So that term only this is. Okay. I am not telling it mathematically. I am telling you to just relate to remember. Okay. That term number TR plus 1, it is here. Okay. So if they ask you what is the fourth term in the given expression, what you will do? You have to find out T4. Now, when I say T4 is equal to something, it means that my TR plus 1 is equal to T4. Correct, right? As per the general term, T4 should be equal to TR plus 1, right? So with this, my R plus 1 will be equal to 4, right? And my R will be equal to 3. So the moral of the story is, if your the term number, if it is 1, it implies that your R is 0. If you have second term, then it implies that R is 1. If you have third term, it implies that R is 2, and so on. Okay, clear, right? So if they ask a question like this, there is this fourth term T4, find R. So what you have to do? Just you have to write TR plus 1 is equal to T4. So R plus 1 will be equal to 4, right? So your R will be equal to 3. In that case, if they give you T1 and tell to find R, then TR plus 1 is equal to T1, right? R plus 1 is equal to 1 and R will be equal to 0. So the moral of the story is, your R is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Whereas your term number TR will be T1, T2, T3, T4 and so on. Which is actually, if R is 0, T1 will be 1. Why? Because TR plus 1 is equal to T1. With this, your R plus 1 is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, right? So if you have R plus 1, you have to treat it with the term number there. Correct? So if R is 0, T1 will be 1. Then what will be the next term? The next term will be T2, right? So this one will be R plus 1 only, right? So R plus 1 is equal to 2. So R will be equal to 2 minus 1. So R is equal to 1, right? So when r is equal to 1, T2 is 2, right? Like this. When r is equal to 2, T3 will be 3. When r is equal to 3, T4 will be 4, right? So this one is r. You get my point, right? So basically you should understand that r is equal to, if it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then TR will be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. One number will be more. That is actually T1, T2, T3, T4 and so on. Okay. So this concept if you understand, then things will become very easy for us. Now let us find out the middle term of the binomial expansion. See, middle term we also used to find out in the statistics, right? So if your number of frequencies is even, then you would have middle terms, two middle terms, right? Two middle terms would be there if number of frequencies are even. If number of frequencies are odd, then you will have only one middle term, right? Obviously, right? See, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the middle term is 3. But if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I will have two middle terms, right? So the same case is applied here also in binomial expansion. So we have two cases, right? Case 1 where n is even. Another case is case 2 where n is odd. In order to find the middle term if n is even, the formula is n by 2 plus 1th term. Okay. See, for example, you have a number of terms n plus 1 is equal to 7. This is possible only if n is even, right? So the number of terms now became 7. If you have 7 number of frequencies like we used to do in the statistics also, you will have only one single middle term, right? For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From 1 till 7 you have, right? So here you have only one middle term, right? That only logic we are applying for binomial expansion also. Okay. Now one more thing you have to understand, that if I say numbers 0 to 5 are there, what you will tell, how many numbers are there? Will you tell 5? No, right? You will first expand. You will write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You will count and then you will say that numbers are 6 here. Actually, how did you get that 6? You actually added 1 to 5 to get 6. So that is what we have done here also. For example, I have a plus b whole to the power 6. Here my n is even. N is equal to 6. How do I find out the middle term here? Middle term, what is the formula we told? N by 2 plus 1, which is equal to 6 by 2 plus 1. So this is going to give 4. So fourth term is the middle term here. Now what about this case 2 where n is odd? See, if n is odd means how many number of terms will be there? N plus 1 number of terms will be there, right? So for example, if your n is 7, so that means you are taking for a plus b whole to the 7. So here our n is 7 means what are number of terms? It will become n plus 1, right? So that will become 8, right? So what will be the numbers here? Maybe for example, if I take in numbers, I will write till 8, right? Like this. Now if I want to find the middle term, I will not get one middle term. I will get two middle terms here. Correct, right? That is what I was telling you. And how did I get the next middle term? First middle term is 4. How did I get the next middle term 5? I just added 1 here. Right? So that logic only we will apply to find the two middle terms here. Okay? So if n is odd means you will have two middle terms. What are the formulae to find out those two middle terms? See, first middle term is n plus 1 by 2. This is first middle term. Second middle term will be n plus 1 by 2 plus 1. That logic only, right? Or you can also write like this, right? N plus 1 plus 2 by 2. So this will become n plus 3 by 2. So this one will be your second middle term. Okay, now let us take the same example, a plus b whole to the 7. For this, if I want to find the first middle term, n plus 1 by 2. So this one will be 7 plus 1 by 2 or 8 by 2. So first middle term is fourth term. Right? Now what about the next middle term? It is n plus 3 by 2, right? So it is 7 plus 3 by 2. So this one is 10 by 2, or the next middle term is fifth term. Clear, right? So these two things are very important to understand here. For n is even, you have one middle term. For n is odd, you have two middle terms. Why we taught you the middle term logic means you can expect anything from this chapter now, because they have given it in the syllabus, right? So you should be able to find out the middle terms for even n and odd n. That's why we taught you. Now we should be able to solve this problem from GPSTR 2026 model question paper. The coefficient of x to the power 5 in x plus 3 whole to the power 8 is. So simply first write the general term tr plus 1 is equal to ncr a to the power n minus r b to the power r. So what is given here? X plus 3 whole to the 8 is given, and we should find the coefficient of x to the 5. Right? So here what is our n? It is 8. What is our a? It is x. What is our b? It is 3. And what is our r? In order to find r, I have to use that n minus r thing, right? So n minus r will be equal to 5. Because we are finding x to the power 5 coefficient. So what is n? 8. I will just substitute. What is r? I have to find out. Then 5. So my r will become 3. Obviously now when r became 3, it means that my tr is 4. Correct, right? So that is what is our logic, right? R plus 1 will be equal to 4. So that's why our r was 3. Correct, right? So now I will go on substituting. Only substituting is the work now. This is T4. What is n? It is 8. C. What is r? We found out it is 3. A to the 8 minus 3. B to the 3. Right? I will also substitute A and B's here, because we already know the values of A and B also. So A is x, B is 3. Correct, right? So here what is NCR? NCR is n factorial by n factorial into n minus r factorial. Right? So that I will apply here. This T4 is equal to 8 factorial by 8 factorial into 8 minus 3 factorial. Then I'll write 3 cube here. I'll put x to the 5 in the last, because I have to anyway find out the coefficient. This value will be the answer to this question. Right? So here I can write, sorry, it is r factorial, right, in the formula. So this is our r factorial. So 3 factorial. So here I can write, just to make it shortcut, 8 factorial by 3 factorial into 5 factorial. Of course, here I will have 27 into x to the 5. Now to make the shortcut, what I will do, in place of 8 factorial, I will go and expand it only till 5 factorial, so that I can just cancel it from the denominator. So 3 factorial is 3 into 1. Again 5 factorial. This will get cancelled. 2 1s are, 2 3s are, 3 1s are, 3 1s are. Here I have 27. Here I have x to the 5. So I have to multiply 56 into 27 into x to the 5. So whatever the value I get for this will be the coefficient of x to the power 5. So if you multiply, you will get 1 5 1 2. So option 1 is the correct answer here. Clear, right? I will give you few more examples, so things will become easy. The question is, the coefficient of x to the power 4 in x plus 2 whole to the power 7 is. So first what you have to do, they have given x to the power 4. So you do n minus r is equal to 4. And what is n? They have given 7. So 7 minus r is equal to 4. R will become 3, which directly implies that our tr plus 1 is equal to t4. Clear, right? So now I have to just find out the values now. That t4 is equal to NCR, right? NCR. What is our A? X. What is our B? 2, right? X to the, see, A to the N minus R, right? So X to the 7 minus 3. And what? B to the R, right? So B is a 2 now. So I will write 2 to the 3. Just I am directly substituting with the formula. So what is R? R is 3. So that I will write here. Okay. So what is our formula? N factorial upon R factorial into N minus R factorial. That is our NCR, right? So here I will write 7 factorial by 3 factorial into 7 minus 3 factorial. I'll put x to the 4 here because that is what I have to find the coefficient. 2 cube will give me 8 here. So here I will write 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial. Here I will write 3 into 2 into 4 factorial. Just to cancel I have done this. 2 1s are 2 3s are 3 3 will get cancelled. I have 7 5s are 35 into 8 into x to the power 4. So if I multiply this, that one will be the coefficient of x to the power 4. Clear, right? So if I multiply, I'll get 280. Option 1 will be the correct answer here. Another similar type of question I am showing you. Here it is to the power 5. Next question. The coefficient of x cube in 2x plus 1 whole to the power 5 is. So here this is our n, this is our a, this is our b. We have to find the coefficient of x cube. So what you have to do first? You do n minus r is equal to 3. So n is 5 minus r is equal to 3. With this my r will become 2 now. So how do you find out the coefficient? You write NCR, you write a to the n minus r, you write b to the r, right? So now what is my n? N is 5, c 2, a is 2x to the 5 minus 2 and b is 1. So we don't have anything to do with that. 1 is there. So it will be multiplied with the numbers same as it is will be there here. So here what is NCR? It will be n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So I have 5 factorial by 2 factorial into 5 minus 2 factorial. And here I have 2 cube, here I have x cube. So this one will give me 5 into 4 into 3 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 factorial. This will get cancelled. 2 1s are 2 2s are. Here I have 10 into 2 cube into x cube. So 2 cube is 8. 8 tens will be 80 x cube. So what is the coefficient of x cube? 80. So that one will be our correct answer here. Okay, clear, right? So now you should be able to answer all these type of questions now. And one different type of question I will show you. The question could be like this. Find the term independent of x in x plus 1 by x to the power 6. So they are telling you to find such type of a term which will not have x in it. And they have given a binomial x plus 1 by x whole to the power 6. Right? So here if the term is independent of x means what should be the power of x? Power of x must be equal to 0. So here first you write the general form tr plus 1 is equal to ncr, a to the n minus r and b to the r, right? So what is a? X. What is b? 1 by x. What is n? It is 6, right? So now just try to substitute here. You get 6c, r we still don't know, right? So that's why we will write as it is. In place of a we will write x, n minus r. In place of b we will write 1 by x whole to the power r. Now we have to make the powers 0, right? Now to make the powers of x 0, of course n we have, n is 6, right? That I will write here. 6 minus r. To make the powers 0, I will take x to the power 6 minus r into 1 by x to the power r. This one will become x to the power 6 minus r into x to the power minus r. Right? So now the bases are same, the powers are different. What I can do? I can write x to the power 6 minus 2r. Just I added the powers. Now you have to treat the power is equal to 0. So what is the power now? 6 minus 2r. This is equal to 0. With this I will get 2r is equal to 6 and r is equal to 3. So now I got the value of r as 3 when the power of x is equal to 0. Now if the power of x is equal to 0, all these terms will go, right? What is the term which is independent of x now? It is a 6r. So this is equal to 6 factorial by, what is r? R is 3 right now. So I will write 3. 3 factorial into 6 minus 3 factorial. So this one will be 6 factorial by 3 factorial into 3 factorial, or 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. 1 3 factorial I am just expanding so that you don't get confused. So this one will be cancelling. 2 1s are 2 2s are, 3 1s are 3 2s are, 5 2s are 10, 10 2s are 20. So 20 is the term which is independent of x now, because we put x power as 0 here. Okay, clear, right? So this was all about binomial theorem. They can ask you more and more questions from anything which we have discussed today. You can form many multiple choice questions or just watch this video carefully and make notes. So any question they ask from binomial theorem, you will be able to answer them. Okay, thank you. All the best. Bye.